Do I look fat?
Go get your sweater on like me.
I need a hoodie on so I can look skinnier.
Oh, you sexy stance, huh? Okay.
Just cover up the belly right here.
You always have a problem with the way I look. It's cold. I did get a second anniversary present, y'all.
Real life moccasins.
Keeps my feet toasty in the mornings. Today we are in Missoula, Montana, talking about
The past. Recapping Wyoming.
Wyoming recap.
We're in a new state. We talk about the old state. That's just how it goes. Jackson Hole mug.
Yellowstone mug.
Jackson Hole shirt.
Mm-hmm. Jackson Hole shirt.
We're done buying this much swag though. We
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
The more money we spend, the less we have, so we have to stop. So we met up with our friends, the Lees. They kind of had their vacation scheduled for there the same time we were going to be there, so it only made sense to hang out.
To Curtis Canyon, that was Jackson Hole too.
Oh, Curtis Canyon. If you haven't seen the video, you need to go watch it. It's the way back down Curtis Canyon, so what didn't get recorded because of the state of mind I was in was us going up in the first night in Curtis Canyon.
And when I think of canyon, I think of canyon, like down, not up. I don't think up when I think
It's
canyon.
not Curtis Mountain.
We started going up, and our review said that there were big rigs up there.
Did it? Or did you just tell me that?
No, there were a couple.
Those people died. We got to a spot that was like,
The first spot.
yeah,
And it was
that
like,
we could even pull off or
okay,
anything.
we can fit here, but there's a cooler and some chairs there. So I was just ready to get up in somebody's
Ashley
grill.
was like of the mindset of like, if people are not here, then they don't get to just claim their spot. So she wanted to just like park all up in her spot. I did not, because that was going to lead to conflict. I just knew it. 10 minutes later, those people showed back up. I did not meet this couple until the next morning. I did not get out of the RV that night.
But you
We
didn't
couldn't
want-
level, and I did not want the first impression for these people of me to be what it would have been. It was the first real time that I was second guessing, like, we're out of our depths. We don't know what we're doing with this RV thing. Like, we shouldn't be out here.
Yeah.
We should go back home and do what we know how to do. But Ashley talked me out of it. We went on to the roof, watched the sunset.
That was the first time we'd really seen the Tetons up close,
Yeah.
too. We saw some bison poop. Bison
Oh yeah.
dump. What is it? What is the other word for it? Scat. Bison scat.
After Jackson Hole, we made our way farther into Grand Teton National Park, right? Camped out in what's called the Upper Teton.
Upper Teton
Lookout.
View. Upper Teton View on Camp
There we
Indian.
go.
It's like the highest rated one, and there's a reason for it. Like, it was amazing. I will say that our friends, the Hootens, stayed at the lower Teton View, and I do think it was actually a little better spot because there are only about 6 campsites there. So if you can get into lower Teton, go for it. But there are only like 2 spots for big rigs there. So
And they had one of them. Speaking of the Hootens, we met 2 groups, 2 families
so crazy
of new friends that we'll have
for life.
for our whole lives now. We met the Hootens first, so you need to check them out on Instagram and YouTube. It's Hootens
And homies.
and Homies. But yeah, they messaged us or commented and said, we're at the lower Tetons, we'd love to hang out. So we hung out that night. The dad is the worship leader in Knoxville. They had southern accents like we did. So it just made us feel
Like home.
home.
Yep.
We met the Thompson family.
And Rhodes takes all the credit for that.
From Rockin' and Rollin', he did, like, so afterwards he's like, you know that y'all should thank me for having these new friends, right? We saw him from a distance, And that wasn't good enough for Rhodes. Rhodes just went over there and said, hey, we're the Honeycutt crew from YouTube. So he's just bold like that. He just went over there, he saw they had kids, and he's like, I'm gonna make new friends. Anyway, just really cool, like, just encounter that we did make such good friends. And yeah, Dan was in a band like years and years ago. I used to play in a band called Candle Fuse, and we were several hours into our friendship, and we were hanging out that night, and he asked what band I was with, and I said it, and like I could see it, it's like a light bulb went off, and like he's like, yeah, we did this thing that y'all did in Nashville, and I was in this band, and it was just small world. It's
so crazy.
So what we're learning in some spots, it's harder with kids.
Harder with little kids.
Little kids. So I think there are several hikes, and Grand Teton is beautiful, and we just didn't get to go quite as many places as we might have if we hadn't done the thing, had the kids, you know. The only other real highlight is I took the longest, hottest shower of my whole life. At the place we had to drive to for Wi-Fi and laundry called Coulter Bay, they have unlimited time hot shower for $5, and I would have given them 100.
It was actually only 15 for all of us to get showers.
Yeah.
So they do like a family discount.
So there are some perks to having kids, but the shower, gosh, y'all, it just, and I even
it was nice water pressure too.
Water pressure was good. It was so hot. I even found a used Band-Aid in the corner, and I didn't care because I was just getting my money's worth. Like, I stayed in there. It was 40 minutes at least. If you're just wondering, like, do you just stay dirty all the time? We can take showers, but it's just limited on our amount of water, so we try to conserve water, and we definitely have a limited amount of hot water.
Yeah, so we only have 6 gallons of hot water. Sometimes it's worth it just to pay to have glorious. Like unlimited hot water.
So I still think about it.
So if we're coming through your area and you want to offer hot showers, hey, we are down.
It's too dear right there.
Aww,
yeah, where we're staying here at this 10 Spoon Winery, like every morning we've seen
lots of deer.
A dozen deer.
Yeah.
And got some cool video and some
great drone
shots of them here. So you guys look forward to that. What else? Are we done? We're done with the Grand Tetons now. Headwaters.
Oh, we were headed to, it's called Snake River. And it's on Camp Indian. It's called Snake River. It has great reviews. There's even like,
you keep saying all this about the reviews, and I feel like
because people lie. I need to go on there now and tell everybody the truth. The first 2 campsites there at Snake River are fine, but I'm telling you right now, do not drive farther if you're in a big rig or if you're in anything that's not 4-wheel drive.
Long story short, the road was narrow. We shouldn't have been there. This really narrow spot of the road, I met an oncoming truck that was pulling a small cargo trailer, and we tried to work together as a team to get by and just work it out, and it was just a long, tedious process. I actually ended up hitting like his wheel well thing on his cargo trailer with the front of the RV. So he's like, whoa, don't do that anymore. So it backed up a little bit, crunched our side mirror. So we like shoved it back up in there for the time being and ended up gorilla taping it. You can't see it here, but yeah.
You'll put pictures and video in there. It's
kind of just rigged for now because a side mirror on a vehicle this big is just crucial. Like I couldn't drive it without it. Next morning we got a spot, parked there, came home that night. People were camped out next to us. We didn't know who they were. They ended up staying. That's a video too.
Here's the video.
So you can go watch that. What's next?
So Yellowstone, I've seen videos and pictures of Yellowstone, and I just thought that it was more flat. I was not.
We just want the whole world to be flat.
We're in the Rocky Mountains. I had pictures in my head that it was like mountains around us, and that we would be like in a valley. That's not the case. In Yellowstone, you drive up and down mountains all the time.
It's beautiful though.
It's so pretty.
We did a lot of things in Yellowstone. We saw Old Faithful. That's a video. Go watch it.
We went to Lamar Valley and saw bunches of bison, which was really a lot of fun.
the bison this time of year are in a rut, which means they need to find their lady, but it also means they're like aggressive towards each other and competing, like I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest. And so they were just a little more on edge, which made for more entertaining,
more entertainment,
memories. But one got pretty close one time, and
it did.
Our window was down,
really
and mini freak out.
Shoot.
Another day we were hanging out with Dan and Jenna and fam from Rockin' and Rollin'. We went to the artist paint pots.
That was a good little hike. It was perfect for what we can do with our kids right now. It was a nice wide trail, not a whole lot of elevation change, and it was a lot for the kids to look at, which helps because they don't get tired because they don't realize they're walking really.
And it was just a day of like cruising. Like we took the top off the Jeep, and it was a beautiful day.
That was the only day we had the top off the Jeep, but it was a lot of fun.
We did Mammoth Hot Springs one evening.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice little. We did, what is it called? The Upper Terrace.
Upper Terrace.
Just like a little drive around. You can see some of the cool formations and
that again was nice that it was in the car because it was a pretty long little drive. I mean, it took a while to drive it, so the kids wouldn't have been up for it, but it was nice to see.
That does remind me, if you're coming to Yellowstone, like you have to plan. You're gonna drive a lot.
Yeah.
It's huge. That's whatever.
2.2 million acres.
So you can't see everything in one, like unless you just live there for years. But we did a lot of driving, and our Jeep gets about 13 miles to the gallon, so we spend a lot in gas, more than usual. So hopefully we get to kind of slow the pace a bit. Our last real stop in Yellowstone, we just posted this video a few days ago, but we saw the Grand Prismatic. It was beautiful. Everything's beautiful.
So pretty.
Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful in its own way. Who sung that song?
No
I have to look that. I think that's a song. If I just made that up off the top, I don't think I did. That's a song. We'll look it up. We'll put it here. Like, why didn't I think of that guy's name? Heck, we did see grizzly wolves at the Discovery Center, and I finally got sweet tea. Just like that's one of the main things. We're talking about what we miss from the South, and for me, it's sweet tea. So, but we got some because there was a McDonald's in West Yellowstone. I actually ate it twice in the same day, and I don't even care. Is that it?
Cool.
We packed a lot of stuff in Wyoming.
We did.
So we're in Montana now, on our way up to Glacier National Park. Headed there today. Bye.